Welcome to the Living in Augusta, Georgia channel. I'm Geraldine DeLaurentis with the Front Gate Group, and today we're going to be talking about where should I live when I'm moving to Augusta, Georgia. Now, I've been here for over 20 years, and I have lived in a bunch of the areas that we're going to be talking about today. So I can tell you why I moved to the different city or little place outside of Augusta that I moved to, and why, and what stage of life I was at. And so you may be able to resonate with that and figure out what would be a good fit for you as far as when you're moving here, where do you want to live? So we're going to get into that right now. Okay, guys, we are going to get into the different areas around Augusta. But first, we're just going to show you kind of the layout regionally where Augusta is. So here's Augusta right here in the middle. As you can see, we go down I-20 to get to Atlanta. It's 2 hours to the Atlanta airport. Right here, kind of in between, is Athens. That's where the University of Georgia is. As you look over here, Augusta is right on the border of Georgia and South Carolina. So when you get across the river, you're in South Carolina. You've got Columbia, South Carolina here. You've got Charleston, South Carolina down here. It takes about 2.5 hours to get from Augusta to Charleston if you want to go check Charleston out. Super cool place to go visit. And then down here, we've got Savannah. So as you can see, we're not too far from the beach, the ocean. And then as you go up, we can get up into mountains of South Carolina, North Carolina. Okay, so here's Augusta here. We've got downtown Augusta right here on the river, close to the river. I hope you guys can see that easily. We also have South Augusta over here. That's just obviously the southern part of Augusta. It's kind of a less expensive area of Augusta. Then we've got North Augusta is included in our area, even though it's in South Carolina, because it's right over the river. A lot of people like to commute from North Augusta, especially if they're working in the medical district, because it's right there. It's like a 10-minute commute right over into the medical district. But then there are also other areas to live. North Augusta has a super cute downtown. We'll talk about that later. It's a neat little place to live. Then the next part we're going to talk about over here is Martinez. I know it should be pronounced Martinez. I'm a Spanish major. I lived in Spain. I understand. I also lived in Honduras and Guatemala, so I can't tell you how difficult it was for me when I very first moved here to pronounce it Martinez, but they've worn me down after 20 years, and here we are. So that's one little tiny area outside of Augusta that people like to live in. And then we've got Evans right over here, very desirable area to live in. It's growing a lot. And then we've got Grovetown over here. A lot of military families moved to Grovetown and Evans just because of how close it is to Fort Gordon, which is now called Fort Eisenhower, but on the maps they haven't updated it. So there you go, Fort Gordon. Very convenient, but because of that, Grovetown has really exploded in their growth in the last 5 years. And so they're doing road construction to get the roads, widened to handle the traffic that is there right now, to handle the amount of people. So it's definitely got a lot of traffic over there right now, which is, as you'll find out later, one of the reasons why I moved out of Grovetown, because I did live in Grovetown for a while. And then the final place that I'm going to talk about is Harlem over here. Harlem is another up and coming little area. It's where the Oliver Hardy Museum is. And it is also, Fort Gordon / Fort Eisenhower has one of their gates that has newly opened over near Harlem. And so they've got a lot of growth happening out here. There's a community that's being built that where you'll have a grocery store, you'll have the housing, you'll have some local restaurants, and shops is what they have the vision for over here. They're working on building it. The houses are there, some of the houses are there, but they're still in the growth of that. So we'll talk about all those areas. And then for those of you that prefer like country living, Harlem definitely has country living. Deering is a little teeny tiny town. Appling is out. And then you've got Thompson. So we're not really going to talk about those areas because they're kind of out in the country, but those other ones that I mentioned earlier, we're going to go and have a little bit more in-depth discussion on. So we're going to get into that in just a minute. What's going on, friends? I'm Geraldine De Laurentiis with the Front Gate Group, and this is the Living in Augusta, Georgia channel. If you haven't been here before, this channel is all about what it's like to eat, sleep, breathe, work, play, and everything in between about what it's like to live in Augusta, Georgia. And if you're not new here, welcome back. So we get a ton of people who are looking to relocate to our area who love reaching out to us. They're shooting us text messages, they're emailing us, they're giving us a phone call, and we absolutely love it. Days, nights, weekends, we love hearing from our people. And if you are thinking about moving to the area, you have to reach out to us. Give us a text message, shoot us an email, give us a call, or you can skip all of that and go to the calendar link in the description and just set a call with us so that we can find out what you like, what you hate, what you would love to have in an area that you're moving to. And we can see if we can find a perfect fit for you here in the Augusta area. We've got your back when moving to Augusta, Georgia. Okay guys, I'm right here in downtown Augusta. As you can see, we've got the downtown area here. And in the downtown area, we've got Old Town. This is a little neighborhood that has a bunch of the historic homes of Augusta. Some of them are dilapidated. Some of them have been purchased and completely redone and are absolutely beautiful. We'll get some pictures of those so that you can kind of see what there is. We've got the Augusta Museum of History. We've got the Riverwalk, the Augusta Riverwalk down here. So you can see here's the Savannah River. It's a really pretty view over there. And you can see across the river, you've got North Augusta, and we'll talk about that later in this video. We also have the Medical District right here, which is where all of the hospitals. We also have Augusta University Nursing School here. And there aren't really grocery stores near downtown. You kind of have to go into Augusta to get to, there's a Fresh Market, there is a Kroger, a Publix. A little further out, there is a Sprouts grocery store. We also have a Good Earth, which has more local fruits and vegetables, and like honey and jams and preserves and things like that. So those are a couple of things. We also have in Augusta a Target shopping center. We have a Costco. We have a Sam's Club. And of course we have Walmart. Now over by Costco, let me see if I can find where we're at. Ooh, I'm drawing instead of moving. Well, we'll talk about that when we get a little bit further into the regular Augusta area. Let me see if this will let me change it to mouse. There we go. I'm just going to scooch it up here. So over here, you can see here's the Augusta National Golf Club. This is where the Masters Golf Tournament is held annually. And you've got the Publix supermarket right over here. And then this is Washington Road right here that feeds straight into downtown. And then over here we have Riverwatch Parkway, and off of Riverwatch Parkway is where Costco over here is, you can see. And then you can see there's I-20 that also goes over into South Carolina. We have the Riverwatch Cinemas over here if you want to see a movie, not too far out of downtown Augusta. So a lot of cute little areas here. All right, there's downtown Augusta. So when I lived in Augusta, as you can see here is Augusta, the Medical District is over here. I lived over here. I'm gonna put this on the draw so I can show you. I lived in this section over here, which was really near the Augusta National Golf Club. I could walk to the Masters Golf Tournament when it was happening. It was really cool. So my husband and I lived there before we were married. We were there, we lived in Augusta for, I think it was about 4 years. I can't quite remember. We really enjoyed it. We had a little 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom house, a little brick house over there. And it was perfect. It was close to downtown. It was really close to where each of us worked. I worked off of Washington Road in Augusta. He worked in Martinez, but it wasn't too far from Augusta. And we love going downtown to the bars and hanging out with our friends and having a couple of beers. Guinness is our drink of choice. And so there were a couple of bars that we really enjoyed because they had Guinness on tap. And that was what we did back then before children, when we thought we were so busy. I really don't remember what it's like before children now. I used to think I was so busy, but man, I had no idea what busy really was until now. Now I have children and I feel like we always have stuff going on. So anyway, now you know about the Augusta area and what phase of life that I was in when we lived in Augusta. And we really enjoyed it while we were there. But we got married and we decided that we wanted to build a house and have a home that when we decided to start having kids would be a great place to bring them home to and all of that good stuff. So we'll talk about that later in this video. All right, now we're gonna move up into the North Augusta area. So way down here is downtown Augusta that we just talked about. And when you go across the river, you get into North Augusta. Okay, and in North Augusta, South Carolina, it's got a really cute little downtown area with some local shops, local restaurants. You've got the Greenway, which is kind of what the Riverwalk is over in Augusta. The Greenway goes along the Savannah River. You can bike it, you can hike it, you can walk, and you'll see a lot of people utilizing that over here along the river. In North Augusta, you've got a Kroger, you've got Walmart, you've got a Publix, and then of course, if you want something else, you can pop across the river and get over to Costco, you can get over to Fresh Market. It's very convenient to get to any of those little areas. There also is a Lidl, an Aldi, and a Food Lion over here. I forgot about those. Let's see, what else did I want to talk to you about for North Augusta? Of course, if you want to look up schools, I always recommend going to greatschools.org, and you can pull up any of the schools in any of the areas that I'm talking about if you want to see where they rank as far as where you are now, if that's important to you. Okay, so that was North Augusta. I actually lived in North Augusta when I was single. Me and my roommate, I had just gotten out of college, and the two of us lived over in North Augusta for about a year. And it was really convenient because I could get straight to downtown very easily. I had just finished going to Augusta University, so my friends were close by there. And I really enjoyed it. And of course, back then it didn't have as much as it has now. Now it's grown more. It's not a huge explosion of growth. They've just done it really well and made sure that the infrastructure was in place as more people were moving over there. And there are military families that like moving over into North Augusta when they can just hop on I-20 and get straight down over to Fort Eisenhower/Fort Gordon. It's not too bad of a commute, usually tops 30 minutes depending on traffic. So that's a nice option if you don't want to live in Augusta or the outlying areas that are a little bit more expensive. You can get a less expensive home that's big still over in North Augusta. Okay, now we're going to talk about Martinez. So down here's Augusta, and you can see up here, this is where Martinez is. Please don't shoot me by the way I'm pronouncing this, but that's just how they pronounce it here in Augusta. So Martinez, I've actually lived in Martinez twice. The first time I lived in Martinez, I lived over near, I'm trying to think of where exactly I was. I was not too far from Fort Gordon. My parents lived in Martinez, and so that's why I lived over there. We lived in a brick house. It was a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom house, and had a nice sized backyard. It was an established neighborhood, and it was fine when I was living with my parents. It was fine. And then I actually currently live in Martinez. I really enjoyed the Martinez area. It's just kind of small, but it has some great schools, and it's close to Augusta, but it's also close to Evans, which is where my parents live now. And we're not too far if we want to hop on I-20 and get over into North Augusta. We can do that as well. Martinez has, let me see, a Kroger, we've got Publix, we've got an amazing Asian grocery store. It's huge, and I can buy like these amazing vegetables and fruits over there. From when I lived in Thailand, my favorite fruit is called mangosteen, and periodically the Asian market will get mangosteen in, and it's super expensive, but I just have to treat myself once in a while because it is my absolute favorite fruit, and it reminds me of my childhood. So, and then of course the schools, look them up on greatschools.org if you want to know where they rank as far as, 5-star, 4-star, whatever. Greatschools.org is a great area to look. Okay, and then we're going to talk about the next place in just a minute. Okay, now we're going to talk about Evans. So down here is Martinez, and then you come up over here and you've got Evans right here. And Evans was named the #1 place to live in 2020 to 2021, according to Money Magazine. So that's pretty cool. It has absolutely exploded in growth, and there is a ton of stuff here in Evans. We've got the Evans Town Center Park. We've got the Lady A Amphitheater, and there's a huge park for kids to play. There's a dog park. There are multiple parks over here. There are parks all over in Augusta as well, but these parks are newer and bigger and a lot of fun. The Lady A Amphitheater, we get people come in to give concerts, and it's pretty neat. There is also, let's see, the Evans downtown area. There's a little tiny downtown area that has just started growing, where we've got some really good local restaurants. We've got a couple of brand new coffee shops that have moved in, so that's super exciting. Let me see what else I need to talk about here. Oh, okay. So we've got a Target shopping center in Evans. We've got a Publix, a Kroger, a Lidl. We've got a Walmart market, a neighborhood market, and then also a regular Walmart here. And my husband and I lived in Evans for just under a year with my in-laws while we were building our house out in Grovetown. They have a pretty substantial house, so we had like the whole second story to ourselves, and it was before kids, but if you've ever lived with your in-laws, you understand what I'm saying. Like, I love them, but also I was really glad when we left and were able to move into our own space again. So anyway, schools here, you can look them up. This is considered, Martinez and Evans are Columbia County. Augusta is Richmond County. So there are a couple of different, you can look up, the different counties and look up the school systems and all of that. Way out here is, we've got 2 different Publix in Evans. We've got a Publix that's close to downtown Evans, and then we have a Publix out here at Riverwood Town Center. Riverwood Plantation is a huge community in Evans, towards the outskirts of Evans, where it's kind of a golf cart community. They can golf cart over to Publix, and in the Publix shopping center, there's a local coffee shop called Rooted. There are a couple of local restaurants, and so a lot of people like living out there. And then a part of Riverwood Plantation, at the end, there's Champions Retreat Golf Club. Champions Retreat is like a community within that community. It's a little gated community, not little, it's a gated community, and it has the golf course on it. And it's definitely at the higher price points in here, but a really, really cool and private area that's kind of back away from everything. So there is Evans. Okay guys, so up here is Evans, and as you can see, we come down here to Grovetown. So we've got Grovetown all over here, and we're going to talk about that. So coming off of I-20, you've got the Walmart Supercenter in Grovetown. We've got Kroger Marketplace. This is the biggest Kroger I've ever seen. It has like clothes in it, just like a Walmart does. I didn't even know Kroger did that. They have a huge selection of wines and a whole little shopping center there that has some great little restaurants and little shops. We've got, here's Canterbury Farms. It's a larger neighborhood with amenities like a pool and a park and walking trails. It's not too far to get to Fort Gordon / Fort Eisenhower. So that's neat. Patriots Park is over here. It's a huge park. They do a lot of sports activities over here for the kids. We've got, let me see what else. Columbia County Animal Services is here. We've got Grovetown High School right here. And then they've got the Grovetown Trails at Uchee Creek. They've got walking trails. You can bike and walk and just enjoy walking through all over there. Lights of the South is kind of a really neat little thing to go to when it gets close to Christmas time. You can take a hayride through all of these stunning Christmas lights on like all this acreage. It's really, really neat thing to do at Christmas time. It's totally worth the drive out to Grovetown to see that if you have never experienced anything like that. So let me see if there's anything. Oh, my husband and I lived in Grovetown for 13 years, and we built 2 houses in a neighborhood called Tudor Branch, and we really, really loved it over there. We had great neighbors. We lived on a cul-de-sac, and we would have like neighborhood get-togethers and just block off the road so the kids could all play at the end of the cul-de-sac, and the adults would hang out and grill hamburgers and hot dogs. It was a lot of fun. We really did enjoy it out there, but then we just really got sick of HOA and how strict they were. Not that we were slobs or anything, but you know, there's a place for an HOA, like keeping people cutting their grass and like keeping their house looking nice. But then there's like the extreme, and towards the end of us living in Grovetown, we had the extreme, and we just decided that we needed to leave Grovetown and move to Martinez. So that was it. The other part of it was just the traffic. Because of the explosion of growth in Grovetown, they did not have the infrastructure in place to support that. And so even today, still, they are working on the roads, and the traffic is just horrendous compared to other areas of Augusta where you don't really have a ton of traffic. Sometimes at 2:30 in the afternoon, if I drive on I-20, I will see the traffic backed up on the side of the road to get off the Grovetown exit, which is it's dangerous, and it's crazy to have to sit in that kind of traffic. So just be forewarned, if you're moving to Grovetown, if you have regular work hours, you may not enjoy sitting in traffic, and that could be a deal breaker for moving to the Grovetown area for you. Let me see what else they have. Oh, they do also have an Aldi in Grovetown grocery store, and a Walmart, which we already talked about, Food Lion, and they have a KJ's Market / IGA over there. So several different grocery store options over there, and they've got restaurants moving in over there, shops moving in over there. It's definitely an exploding, growing area. Okay, now we're going to talk about the final area of the Augusta area. So over here on the right, you'll see Grovetown, just the piece of Grovetown, but I just wanted to give you an idea of where it is in relation to Harlem. So here we have Harlem over here, down in the very bottom corner, and I'm going to get us moved over so that you can see it a little. Oh, sorry, I hit the wrong thing. Mouse, here we go. Hello. So we're gonna get right over here. I might back out just a smidgen. Okay, so here you've got the whole little city of Harlem. It's not that big. It is definitely more out in the country. Things are a lot more spread out. There is a lot of growth there because Fort Gordon / Fort Eisenhower has just opened a gate over here. And so there are military moving over here, not only military, but cybersecurity. Part of Fort Gordon / Fort Eisenhower, they are moving out here. They've got space there. They don't have to drive through traffic of the Grovetown traffic. They can get onto Fort Eisenhower fairly easily. And there are a couple of some new construction going on out here, but there's also places that are older neighborhoods on acreage that you can find in Harlem. Their downtown area is really cute. They've got a little Harlem Java coffee house here in the downtown area, and a couple of other little places to eat down here. There's KJ's Market, IGA is your grocery store over here. Of course, they've got a Family Dollar. The Red Oak Manor, this is a really neat little bed and breakfast and also restaurant area. They do every month, they do a Iron Chef type event, and they have a local chef come in, and then 2 usually home cooks come in, and I've actually competed in it before. It's a lot of fun, and we have to cook for 100 people, and I'll have to see if I can find some shots to add into this video so you guys can see. My mom was my sous chef, and I love cooking, and so it was a lot of fun. It was exhausting, but it was a lot of fun to work alongside some other people and a local chef who is able to kind of come over and chat with you about what you're doing. And so a fun time if you can get in. They sell out like within 10 minutes of releasing the tickets. So that's a different and fun kind of thing to do. I'm trying to think what else I need to tell you about. Oh, Amazon plant. We have an Amazon plant that's really, really close to there. And so we do have a lot of, okay, I know I talked about military families moving to Harlem. We have Amazon employees, the cyber community, and then people that just want to live out in the country are moving out into Harlem because it's kind of away from all of that traffic and all of that growth. Harlem is growing, but it's not a ridiculously huge growth like Grovetown was seeing in the last couple of years. So that's Harlem, and those are the areas of Augusta. I'm going to go back to here and kind of zoom back out so you can see the overview of Augusta again. So here, Augusta, you've got over here South Carolina, and then up here Murphy Village. That's where the gypsies live. If you don't know about the gypsies, you should Google it and look it up. And then down here is, let me put my little drawing thing on. Down here is Jackson, South Carolina. And Jackson is where the racetrack is, where I raced my car, the Hellcat that I have. So much fun. If you guys want something to do, it's like a 45-minute ride, and it is a lot of fun to go out to the racetrack and just, I don't know, see people racing cars. It's even more fun if you actually race the cars. So I highly recommend doing that. And if you guys are in town and want to see me race, just ask me and I'll let you know the next time I'm out there. I don't do it all the time, just once in a blue moon, but I have a lot of fun doing it. One of my favorite things is that my insurance agent, he's with State Farm, he also owns a Charger, and he likes to race me, and so we race each other out in the Jackson track. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed this little video clip of the different areas of Augusta. I just need you to remember that if you want to figure out what the best area is for you, reach out to us, because we're going to ask you those questions, like what you love, what you hate, what you really want to find in an area, and we can tailor fit that area to you. So make sure that you call us, shoot us a text, email us, or skip all of that and go into the description, click on the calendar link, and we can get hooked up so that we can get the questions answered that we need answered to find the perfect fit for you if you're moving to the Augusta area. We've got your back when moving to Augusta, Georgia.